It's 9 o'clock in the evening, July 14th, and after hoping to camp on the beach this whole trip, I've always had a real desire to do so. I'm thankful to say that tonight I am. We are on the Spit in Homer, Alaska, along with everybody else. This is a really popular, really busy area with the tourists, and I'm sure with everybody. But so I've got to leave Zeke over here tonight on this side of the wall, but still pretty darn close to camp. Got the bag drying out here from waking up wet this morning, and the tent and everything ought to be drying out real good. It's nice and breezy, of course, here on the ocean, and the stuff is you talk about it not being super durable this morning because of the lightweightness, for backpacking, but also that lightweightness helps with it drying too. So you can see here other campers down through there, bunch of RVs and stuff down there, and actually behind me too, just up and down the Spit. Again, a lot of camping. Around here, got my Ultrabalgan on again because just checked the temperature. It's like 54 degrees, which in July is pretty chilly, especially with the breeze. And just like this morning too, and good part of the day until I got to a certain point and the sun came out. But starting out, it was overcast, and again it was wet, and it was cold. I was telling Lori, actually, I was talking to her this afternoon. Be honest, I was a little discouraged, just getting wet, and again, just being cold again. I've had a lot of cold. And I know this is Alaska, but Alaska has summer, and they have warmth and stuff like that. I think this, low 60s, low to mid 60s that it was today, and even colder 50s and all that. That's unseasonable even for Alaska. But anyhow, I'm blessed to be here either way, and it is all part of the adventure. But it can wear on a person. I'm just feeling a little road weary. I've been out, been gone for a long time, and even though it's been absolutely amazing, it sometimes can catch up with you. I just too physically, emotionally, I just did not feel good earlier today, but just as the Lord does, He certainly He blesses me, and I know I'm blessed regardless. It's not about how I feel, but it's about who I am and all that I have in Him, the countless blessings. But again, the sun did end up coming out, and although it got a little warmer, it definitely got warmer, and but it was beautiful. Had a beautiful ride, and just a good time that I'm certainly thankful for. And it's cool to be down here in Homer. It was from Anchorage is 200 and some miles down here, so it's good to, and speaking of miles, 187.8 today, so today itself close to 200. And also, speaking of miles, 3 days ago, that ride when we camped over by the Nick River, like 40 miles or so outside of Anchorage, I did not do my mileage, and that day was 126.8. So I wanted to mention that, record those miles, again, today's miles. And also, from yesterday, something I didn't mention, I don't know that I said much about doing the Whittier Tunnel. I know I said I ran around on the other side of it and went up to that Army facilities, but also the tunnel itself was pretty wild. I got some pretty big hype from other riders, and I could see why they liked it so much. It was pretty unique experience coming in, going towards Whittier. But the first time through, I was in a big line of traffic with cars and maybe RVs and stuff like that, and I followed them through. and you know, it just seemed like there was a bunch of us, a big line of us. But when I was coming back through from the Whittier side, even though there was a lot of traffic lined up and all that, the guy who sent me and this other guy on a bike through, he seemed like he must have really let us go much after they had already went, because it seemed like it was just he and I. I mean, he led the way, and I brought up the rear, and I couldn't see anybody up ahead of him or anything. So he was on his, I think it was a 750 BMW GS, and he's a local guy. I forget where he said he lived. I don't know if it was Anchorage or not, but somewhere up here. But anyhow, he led the way, and I followed him, and that was a different experience, just seeing the one bike ahead of me going through there. But both ways was truly a different experience, a unique tunnel for sure. Like nothing I've ever been through. Which, you know, I think I said that earlier. I did, you know, let alone on a motorcycle. I remember saying that. Anyhow, so yeah, tonight camping on the Spit, Homer, Alaska, good stuff. But again, there was something else I was going to say about yesterday. I was starting to. After the tunnel, after I came back to this side, met some folks at an overlook facing one of the glaciers, and a couple, his name was Safi and her name was Rafa, and they're from Houston, Texas. He rides, he's got both, he's got a Harley Davidson, a Fat Boy, and he's also got has an Indian as well. And but he was both just super nice people, friendly, and he was just all about my you know, get my Royal Enfield and the fact that I've ridden it so far and just all that. And we took pictures together and everything, so that was fun. But it was great to meet Rafa and Safi for sure. And along that lines, as far as the bike and meeting people today, they're at a gas station coming down here. I met a group of guys, 6 of them from Kentucky, and which is very close to home. Bowling Green, one of them said, Louisville, another one. So, you know, neither of those places. I think Bowling Green might be about 3 hours from me, but Louisville's probably like an hour or so, maybe an hour and a half tops. But the one guy in particular, he was funny, and I'm so sorry, bro, I don't remember your name, but he was the first one to say something. He was like, "Did you ride that from Ohio?" And he was like, you know, he might have been like, "That little thing," and he seemed like he was just so amazed. He couldn't believe I rode a little bike, you know, all the way from Ohio. And he had to shake my hand, and told me his name, and I told him mine. That's where, again, you know, it's a bummer. I can't remember your name, dude. I'm so sorry, but I'll never forget you anyhow, you know, name or not. And it was great to meet you guys. And they had been up here, I'm not sure for how long, but they've been up here fishing. And sound like they've done pretty good. Out of 6 of them, the one guy said he thinks they'll take home about 50 pounds a piece. So, you know, it's 300 pounds of fish. It's a lot of fish. And and I think he said they're going home tomorrow or Saturday. But anyhow, it was good to meet you guys, and again, some guys that are almost local, pretty close for sure. And I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down before I use any more memory. Let me go ahead and just get in the campsite here on the beach. It's right over there, Zeke. Sleeping bag. And other folks camping. He's even got him a fire going. He's here with his family. I spoke to them across the road asking about where you pay. Seem like really nice people. Talked to my woman a couple, if not a few times a day. Talked to my mom a couple times a day. So that was definitely a blessing. Always good. But Lord willing, tomorrow I'm gonna eat me some seafood. Looking forward to that. And I'm about to eat tonight's dinner. Another typical dinner. It's going to be some chips and hard salami. It'll taste good. Not the healthiest thing to eat, but it'll taste good. What a place, though.